So I'm getting a little itchy to spend money, and for the first time in my life, I can actually say that I've got, I guess, a couple extra bucks, which kind of had me thinking about buying a bigger house. Kendra's in nursing school right now. So obviously funds are stretched a little thinner there, and when she's finished, she's gonna be able to help buy a house, which is a big deal to her. She said, you know, why don't you take the down payment for a house and go buy another exotic car? The first one worked out for us really well. I like that idea. Next thing I know, we're getting up at the butt crack of dawn to go test drive one. I'm really confident in my abilities, but when I do what I do for a living, I know that the best way to react is have people around you who are smart and can do a good job of what they do. When it comes to tuning exotics, I mean super intense machines that are changing year after year, you want a guy like Justin Hood who can get in there and crack these things, tune them. And long story short, he works at this amazing shop. He said, come on down and test drive a Huracan that's supercharged. That puts us in a different price range, but I'm intrigued. I gotta go see it. So walking in there, this place just screamed of taste. That's a good sign. It looked nice.
Hey guys, you made it.
What's up, man?
Oh man, how was that drive?
Mr. Hood.
Good stuff.
It's good.
Good seeing you, man.
I didn't square up on that handshake right
I'm
now.
gonna hug him.
Oh, get in there.
How you doing?
Good.
She's not a hugger. Is there something I need to know about here?
Oh wow. You thinking about this?
I think everything's for sale.
GT350R.
I don't know.
Revs at 8250.
Yeah, I knew they're pretty hot. The
Yeah.
Flat plane crank and all that.
Flat plane crank,
Yeah.
5.2. This is a real monster here, man.
They sound different, obviously because of flat plane crank, but they don't sound like you know,
Traditional.
Ferrari or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of history behind that car and what it took to get there. It's also the first car that has a 180-degree crankshaft over 5 liters. That's kind of where Ferrari stopped and Ford took over. It's a very intriguing piece. Really, it looks like just a normal Coyote. The intake manifold, everything.
You can be fooled until you drive it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if I'm guilty of anything, it's taking too long to look at all the twinkling stars, but I guess we have to get to what we came for. It's on to the Lamborghini.
All right, so now what you're really here for is the...
Yeah. There's a very different connection between you and a car when you're thinking about buying it versus just admiring it. When I walked in and saw that thing and thought about actually owning it, it almost made me sick. It's a lot of machine.
BBS FIR wheels. They're actually 11 pounds lighter than stock. You can see they hollowed out the spokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then to go in that extra detail of lightening up the back of the spokes with color as well than just, you know, the weight, but going that silver two-tone, that's a lot of extra work right there.
So the car has KW coilovers on it.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask if it was lowered.
Has some RSC carbon bits around the car.
It's really
spoiler.
nice that all that's already done. It'll save a lot of money, you know?
Oh yeah.
Because there's no way I could leave it alone.
That's a good way of convincing her.
Yeah. I actually like the logo enough on it that I'll leave it for a little bit. It's tasteful.
It's a lion.
Yeah.
Did you know it was a lion?
Yes, I know.
All right. I actually didn't at first. You had to explain it to me.
Was I supposed to say no?
It looks good there. Like I get it
Yeah.
there, but here it almost looks like a what do you call it? Like a hippogriff.
He really thought it was a hippogriff.
What am I trying to say?
This isn't Harry Potter, though.
Phoenix.
A phoenix is
Yeah.
a bird.
I know. Shut
Oh,
up.
okay.
Leave me alone.
I didn't mean to make him look bad, but a hippogriff?
I thought it was a phoenix. So what's the displacement on that blower?
The VF Engineering Supercharger is actually 2.3.
Okay, cool. It's kind of tiny guy. They're getting a lot of power out of that.
Yeah.
Did you paint it or powder coat it, or can you order it like different colors like that? Or?
Yeah, we actually did this.
Okay.
You know, just to match the car color. I don't know
Anytime-
if VF has that option, but
Anytime I see something where the pieces are cast, I love tubing. It's fun to look at, right? But I mean, you know some money was put into that.
right.
They don't call investment casting for nothing. And that's open, huh? It's all
Yeah,
functional?
this actually, they use this to actually create downforce, surprisingly.
Wow.
This spoiler will actually create drag.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
I wanted to see the trunk.
Kendra, so I have to ask you honestly, what are you expecting to fit in here?
A small dog, maybe a purse.
Yeah, all that type of
Okay,
cliche stuff.
Good.
Have you ever
That
seen...
will work because.
Oh, man, that's pretty limited, eh?
I was curious if it would hold my shoes.
All right, man, I guess it comes down to brass tacks. I'm just guessing. I told Kendra probably right around 300 for this.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I...
Yeah, that was a good guess.
I stare at this stuff incessantly. I'm
Yeah.
Mr. Stare at the freaking internet and look at prices of things, and this is what it is, you know? It's
Yeah.
not a not a cheap car.
Absolutely. I mean, for you, we could probably definitely work something out.
Was she really trying to stick her shoes in there when we were talking?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start talking about a pre-flight check, getting me suited up, checking the ailerons, the rotors, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, right?
me.
All right,
I'm
pretty
Rich.
much. Hey, how you doing?
Nice to meet
yeah,
you.
I saw that back here. Let's talk about your tech.
Yeah, let's talk about it. It seems to be the topic of conversation.
Because it's
Yeah, I
funny.
bet. That is funny.
I was fortunate enough to get it, and it works out. It's definitely an eye catcher on top of the car. It starts conversation,
Cool.
and I get to meet a lot of people from it. So
Yeah, I
it's great.
bet. Well, rather than me go into this with a cloudy head, I got to look around the shop. I mean, you
Sure,
got some
please
amazing
do.
stuff right here. Good variety of things.
Yep.
So. I have a short attention span, so I like diversity. Plus, it just, I don't know, it adds something. It shows intelligence when you look into a place and they're not just stuck in a solid rut. I mean, these guys are doing everything from lifted trucks to, of course, the GTRs and all the typical South Floridian street racing fare to exotics, obviously. But one of the cool things, they were doing an RX-7 there with a 1JZ in it, for example. Not a 2JZ, a 1JZ. It just shows, diversity. They got their stuff wired incorrectly, and one of the coolest things was their dyno was something straight out of freaking like a NASA lab. Beautiful facility. With that much science in place, a dyno like that and a machine like that, hell, $600,000 worth of equipment, we had to hear that thing rip before we took it out. Normally I'm not that way because I'm all, don't use it, don't put it in the garage and keep it pretty. But damn, I had to see that happen. I think it was crushing the rear tires with like 800 horsepower. Very aggressive sounding, right?
Yeah.
Now it's time to take it out. This thing, just no words, it's a damn spaceship.
May have been some swear words involved just because I wasn't ready for the acceleration, but it was fun.
This thing's ridiculous. Boom, no double freaking double clutching, rev matching, chip down. Huh?
I was gonna say some bitch, but I didn't know because they bitch.
You can say whatever you want. Say
Okay.
bitch, balls,
I wanted to say first.
yeah, well, I think you just fine.
Because that one's really fun.
Right. I can't believe you say those things. Look at the windscreen in this, just the way it looks. Where's the f***ing turn signal at? Well, I'm in a Lambo. I can just be an asshole and not use my signal, right?
Right.
The first thing taking that car out, once you acclimate yourself with all the controls and the buttons and what's going on, is it's like someone takes the zoom lens on a camera and just racks it. It's like being in a Spike Lee movie because that windshield is so far away from you and the proportions are so odd. And it's just like a video game because you can't see anything except for what's in front of you. Not to mention the shifts are over like that. In the car is just this cackling wonder of visceral onslaught to your head. I mean, just like, if the whole movie from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was to play in your head each time you grabbed the paddle and banged another shift, that's the only way I can describe it. 150 miles an hour. What? Holy cow. Wow. That's a little different.
Yeah.
That is, it's like driving something with an electric motor. It is instantaneous. Holy cow, that's brutal. Wow. See, that's very clean, mid-range power, very smooth. It's right there. You're not waiting on the engine. Torque. It's interesting. Whoa, I heard the supercharger there. That is a cop.
Was it?
Yep. He did nothing. Yes! Score. He did nothing. Driving the car was an absolutely amazing experience. I mean, there's just, that's a once in a lifetime experience for a lot of us, and not even. But at the end of the day, it's just flat out too expensive. Being able to afford that car is different than being able to buy that car. That's a $300,000 toy for somebody who's got it, and it was made evident to me that it wasn't going to last long at that price because he was a little bit flexible, but still couldn't get to where we needed to be. And like I said, I got to look at getting a house here in a couple years. So I think we're going to go another direction. We're going to get an exotic, but maybe something I don't have to worry about trending down, something that's on its way up. It's a heavy decision, but I don't know if it's the right car for us. I know it's the right car. I just don't know if I can afford it.